Thanks. Well, it was a story fit for tabloid magazines and daytime talk shows.
A shocking pattern of crime and cross-dressing that rocked Colorado Springs for 2 decades. It's a story that continues to draw interest.
Our Sierra Santos joins us now with more on the high school cheerleader, Storm Arison, who turned out to be a grown man. Sierra?
It's the first time Charles Daugherty has been interviewed on television in years. Back in the 90s, Daugherty's story graced the pages of national magazines, as well as Court TV, Maury Povich, and Inside Edition, just to name a few. Tonight, we hear straight from the person who's considered one of the greatest con artists of the century. Storm Arison.
He believes in his lies.
Shannon Ireland.
He believes who he is.
Christy Lombardi. Multiple names, but just one person, Charles Daugherty.
He believes that he is a 21-year-old white supermodel, when in fact he is a 48-year-old black man.
Jay Sully is a private investigator and was, at one time, Daugherty's bodyguard. He's tracked his career and has co-authored a book, Mistress of the Con.
He's considered one of the top con men of the century.
Shocking scam.
His most infamous scandal put Colorado Springs in the national spotlight in the 1990s.
This week, a 26-year-old man named Charles Daugherty was arrested for impersonating a female student.
But after the school became suspicious, he was arrested and convicted of criminal impersonation.
You got to give the guy credit. I mean, he doesn't quit.
So where is Charles now?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you Christy?
Yes.
Still in Colorado Springs and still claiming to be a supermodel under the name Christy Lombardi, working on calendars and recruiting talent and photographers to join her dream team.
He never tells them that he has a criminal history that spans almost 30 years now.
So what does Christy Lombardi think of being labeled a con man?
Well, I can understand that, because unless someone takes the time to actually get to know me, then it's all up for interpretation. So.
Lombardi says she's intersex, meaning she was born with anatomy that doesn't fit the standard for male or female. Information she's not shared with sponsors and crew members working on her calendar shoots in the past.
What they had a problem with was I didn't say, this is how I was born, this is what my whole life has been about.
Records indicate Lombardi was a man, but she now only identifies herself as a woman.
How is the modeling career going right now?
It sucks. Because you live in the gym and
Zulia says Daugherty will do anything to live out his fantasy.
At any expense. At your expense, at his expense, at her expense. I'll take your money and I'm going to fool you until you find out.
There were 6 of us all together. There were 6 basic main personalities all together.
And it was even difficult for Lombardi to find out who she was.
Because the biggest problem through my whole court thing was, who is it? That was the one, that's all anybody, that's the biggest issue.
An issue Lombardi hopes others will come to accept, like she has.
When it comes to a job per se, or a venture like that, how I was born is not the issue. That's not what we're here for.
Daugherty is still on probation. We reached out to Daugherty's probation officer who was unable to give us any further details. In the meantime, Christy Lombardi continues to model and enjoys church and step class.
Sierra, what an interesting story. Thanks for that update
Been
there.
a long time.
Yeah, okay. Valentine's